let's move on to work with the wires. First thing to do is strip them. To do this with our own hands, we will create a simple construction, which is suitable for cables of different thickness. Let's cover it with varnish and install a blade from an ordinary box cutter. Well, there, the mount is solid. You can check it out in action. As you can see, everything works great. Now let's fix the wires to the wall. It's often unreliable, but we know how to fix it. Just 2 parts. You cannot pull the plug out of the outlet. I don't understand why no one follows this simple rule. Well, let's make a sturdy attachment that will keep the cable from ripping off once again. And move on to the corrugated pipe. It's not hard to fasten it properly too. And it's a totally different thing. It's time to find out how the 3-way switch works. Trust me, it's a very handy thing that lets you control lights from different parts of the room. The important thing is to build the right circuit. Does it look like the outlet's about to fall off? That's not good. We need to fix it right away. Let's take it apart and make it as sturdy as possible. We'll have to use a gun to do it. No, not the one that you're thinking of, just a glue gun. Put the parts back in place. Now it's held firmly in place. Did the light bulb stop working? Maybe it's a blown diode. Let's take it apart and see. We suggest shorting it out. Grab your soldering iron, it's time to get started. And test it. It works. Burnt and shorted. These words often haunt electricians. Fortunately, professionals know how to prevent the problem. For example, you can connect the wires beforehand using this simple principle of stairs. Perfect! All that's left is to connect and insulate everything. This construction is not as sturdy as it looks. Maybe we could add some fire. I think it will help secure everything. However, why assume when you cannot test it? The final touch is that now all the wires are definitely protected. Junctions are the worst dream of anyone who has ever dealt with electrical work. They are so often unreliable. You need to fix the situation. Take note of a few successful improvement tricks. Really solid too. Check out a few more options. You'll have to use pliers for these. This is even tighter than the sailing knot. A whole roll of duct tape can be difficult to slip through the small gaps between the wires. And finally, let's make an express phone charger, which will come in handy in case you don't have a regular one at hand. Pulling out a nail can be difficult. Just one little trick will help correct the situation. Nothing is difficult with an electric screwdriver. Take out the screw halfway, change the mode, and insert it diagonally. Do you have a chip on your countertop? It's easy to hide with 2 wax crayons and a soldering iron. Just remove the excess with a knife. What ugly joints! This should not be allowed in your house. Add a small piece of baseboard and a completely different look. What should always be on hand for a real craftsman? Of course, a pencil. You can write down your brilliant thoughts with it. Some macro and nailing wouldn't hurt. Oh, those masks. Honestly, we're all very tired of them. Fortunately, you won't have to use masks for its intended purpose anymore. There is a better option. So it's not a bad alternative to rope or even a water filter. After using it, you can throw it away without regret. We also have an interesting way to use a lighter. You only need one piece of it. Carefully pull it out and drill it. Couple more seconds, and you get a great drill bit for grinding metal. Now let's go to pipes. It's easy to pierce them if you're not careful. You can avoid this with a small metal gasket. You cut it, notch it, and attach it like this. It will no longer be possible to drill holes in the wrong place. Let's try to lay flooring where the pipe is placed. It's not really that easy. One wrong move and the appearance of the room can be spoiled. But we know how to cut a perfect circle. A construction stapler is a great thing. By the way, you can use it for not its intended purpose, but for example, as a drift punch for metal. You will have to do a little upgrade, but trust me, it's worth it. What can you make with a small piece of plywood and a furniture dowel? I know, that's not an easy question. At first glance, nothing useful, but that's a misconception. Just a little imagination and time allows you to create incredible things. For example, this educational game will appeal to any child. And all you need to do is a marking and small notches. Grind, take glue, and use it to fix a wooden dowel. Only the patient can cope with this work. Remove all the wooden burrs and sharp corners, so that no one gets hurt. That's it. All that's left is to add the most common rubber bands. This will keep the baby occupied for a long time, and he definitely won't get in the way of our work. In the meantime, we will cut a beautiful wooden log. It can be used as a leg for a small table. Careful, no sudden moves. You can pay dearly for them. Look, it turns out beautifully. It really can be quite a nice interior decoration. The last tip for today is a structure to hold a water bottle. Just add a couple of 3 wooden sticks to hold it in place. Check it out, that's impressive.